Okay, welcome back. This is our second video on Excel, and here we're going to do some things that are a little bit more advanced, uh, and will kind of show you, what that is as we go. And what I want to do is get back to what we were originally doing, and of course it's going to give me problems. Um, So we'll do that. Okay. So get back to what we originally did, which was this. This was our original uh, spreadsheet that we made. Now, honestly, there's nothing on here that we can't do in a table in Word, right? So the point of Excel is to do those things that you cannot do in Word, or that are difficult to do in Word, or might involve formulas or some math, something like this. So the idea is that this can be done in Excel. And then if you need to put it in a Word document, you can do that easily, which we'll show in another video. So right now, what we're doing is making a Christmas list. So let's say I want to make this a little bit more complicated. So the first thing I want to do is highlight. So I'm left clicking and dragging to highlight the whole table. And I'm going to copy it. And so then I want to go down here and add another worksheet. So as you can see, you have this first worksheet, and now we have another worksheet, which is blank. And then I'm going to Control V and paste it. So you'll see that there's a little bit, it didn't take all the formatting, so I can make these the right size. It did make these in between bigger, but that's actually going to be okay because I'll show you we're going to do something um, specific with that in a moment. So, okay, so as you can see, we have basically our same list uh, with just a little bit more space. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to insert two more rows because I want to add a title to this. Often if you see a spreadsheet, it has a title at the top. So I just right click and insert two more rows. And now I'm going to select those rows and we're going to go up here. One of the challenges with Excel is because there are so many options on the ribbon that you can get confused because not all of them have names, right? Some are obvious because they're just, what we see on Word and other programs. But there's others like this that are not so obvious. So if I hover over it, you can see the title comes up and a little explanation. So this is called merge and center. And that's what I want to do to these cells. So there's, I don't know, maybe 16 cells. And I'm going to click on this and I'm going to make them all one. So you see it made all one cell. And now what I can do is type in that one cell. So I can say Christmas list 2024. Uh, and now I'm going to select it again. I'm going to make it bold and I'm going to make it larger. So now we have a title. If we want, we can make it so that it's showing the borders. I want thick outside borders for that. Okay, so you can see Christmas list 2024. Now, one of the things, if my Christmas list is longer, so if I continue, this Christmas list down, I would want to see the column at the top or the row at the top uh, still there. So what I'm going to do is click here and just keep that highlighted and then go up to view and go to this area called freeze panes. So what it's going to do is it's going to freeze everything to the left and above the one I've selected. So I'm going to freeze panes and I'm going to click this top one here, freeze panes. So now if I go down, you can see that the top still exists. So I could have a long, long list of 30 or 40, and I can still see the top. Now, what I can do here to make this a little bit more um, obvious that it's the title, I can just make this a little bit larger. So then it's quite obvious that it's separate from the rest of my list. And then if I go down, I can see what Malachi wants, what Malachi needs, what Malachi will wear, and what Malachi will read in terms of his gifts. Okay, so now what I want to do is put in the prices of these things. I'm going to do it in kind of a quick way. Oops, sorry, not percent. So I'm just clicking on the cell and then putting in a dollar sign. And then here we're going to do the same. And we'll see, I might add a tab later. So the Legos are going to cost 25. Okay, now that's not uh, in the right format, right? That's just 25. So we'll do another one. So the jewelry will be 100. The sneakers will be 75. The Ferrari, or Ronda, will be 250,000. The toys for Griffin will be 30. The sweater will be 45. And the boat will be 100,000. This is an expensive Christmas. Okay, so as I said, these are not in the right format. So what I'm going to do is select this entire row and then go up here. This is under the Home tab and see what I have as options. This is going to be the rules of those cells. So I want accounting because it's going to give me numbers, right? So if I click on that dollar sign, then it puts it in the proper format and it puts a dollar sign and it puts the amount. Um, so we're going to do this quickly. Um, so pants for Gustav will be 25. And what I'm going to do is select both of these and then take that little black. You see what I did there? Now, honestly, this isn't really the proper use of this because these actually have prices. But just to show you what I did, I selected the first two, right? So I'm getting the number and a blank below it. And then I took this and waited until it turned black. I put it over in the corner. And then I dragged it down. And what it does is it just keeps adding it. So it's like 25 plus 1. So it just keeps making it one more than it is. And I'll show you there's other uses for this, but it's a quick way. Like I said, I'm just trying to show you some options. I won't do it again because I want to make sure that I'm being smart about how I'm uh, using this particular function. Um, Everybody's getting a shirt apparently. Uh, so they'll all be the same price. And you can also copy and paste if you want. So I can copy and then I can just paste it here if I want to do the same. Um, didn't copy, copy, and then paste, and then paste. Okay, so we'll change this again to dollars. We'll go here, and then this little critter book, 20, Bible 15. Oops, it's a little slow today. JRR token will be 25. Book on Excel, the 40. No book for Griffin because he's a dog, so we put 0. This is 15. And this is 35. Okay, so I will make this dollars as well. Okay, now, what if I want to find out what the total I'm spending on each person is? That's kind of an interesting thing to know. So I can just do simple addition, right? I can just kind of uh, figure out, 20 plus 25 plus 30 plus 20, and and then I can put my total in. But what's better and what's a good use of Excel is to put a dynamic formula in. So if I realize, oh no, the price of, the shirt went up, then it will actually change it in the final calculation. So what I'm going to do is create a formula. So I'm going to put the equal sign, the word sum, and then a parentheses. Okay? And so then I'm going to click here, and then the plus sign, here, the plus sign, here, the plus sign, and here, the plus sign. No plus sign. And then close my parentheses and hit enter. And now we can check our work. 25 plus 25 is 50, 30 plus 20 is 50, 50 plus 50 is 100. So you can see that we were able to add the entire uh, thing. And now we know that for Gustav, we're spending $100. Okay? So now if I want to do this for all of them, I can go through and type the formula over and over again, or I can use the same trick that I just did, is highlight the first two and then drag it all the way down. And you can see it's adding. When I'll go back. When it has these pound signs, it means that the cell's not large enough. So what I do is go up, double click, and it will enlarge the cell so that it fits. So you can see that what the cost of all of these are. Now, if I want to see the grand total, uh, I can use another function. So what I'm going to do is go like this, and then go back to my home screen. I'm on my home screen. And this little button here is going to add all these up and put them in that bottom cell. So this is the grand total of what I'm spending on Christmas. I better get a better job. So $350,831. Uh, I'm spending the most on Rhonda. Rhonda's lucky. Now let's go through and look at the dynamic nature of what we just did. So let's say that I'm spending a lot on Rhonda because she wants a Ferrari. So let's not buy her a shirt. Okay, let's put 0 in the shirt column. And see how everything changes. This 250,000 changed. It took off that $30 for the shirt, and my grand total changed. Now let's look at Malachi. So Malachi is my son. I'm only spending $157 on Malachi. That doesn't seem like enough. He has very expensive taste, so he wants a shirt that's $200. So I'm going to change that to 200. And again, you can see this goes from 127 to 327. And this changes as well. So this is a way that you can use some shortcuts, right? This little plus sign, this black plus sign, you have to make sure that it turns black, is a great shortcut for putting in a formula. Anyway, this Excel spreadsheet got a little bit more complicated, but I think the shortcuts uh, are helpful in allowing you to see and understand how to best use Excel for all of its power, right? It's not just about hand entering everything. Using this little black plus sign, what it does is it understands the formula and then changes it by one, just as it did here. So it changes it by one as we did with the shirts. And here it changes it. So if you want to see the formula, if you click on here and look up in this little box, you can see the formula. So it's sum equals D5, F5, H5, and J5. And you can see that the 5 is Gustav, right? And now we're going to click off of this because we don't want to mess up our formula. Now we can click on Agnieszka, and it'll show D7, F7, H7, J7. So what it did is it just understood that we skipped one and went to the next one. Okay, so I think that there's some complicated things in this uh, explanation, so you can always go back and rewind. But ultimately, I think this took our Excel spreadsheet we did initially. We can go back here and made it much more useful to us. This is something you could have done as a table. This is something you cannot do as a table in Word, especially when you're using the function of uh, the sum or the math function, the formula function. Okay, so we will continue to develop our skills, and I look forward to our next video.